I took many Iranian people myself, you know, when I went in, and they were very horrified. They were shocked because the Iranians that I knew were very peaceful, loving people, and you know, they were absolutely horrified what the you know, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, who were supposed to be guarding them, you know, they were very horrified by what they're capable of doing. So I highly suggest that you go and take a look for yourself.
This is AL-AHWAZ you're talking about. Is it Khuzestan? Because
yes.
Khuzestan is, I know about Khuzestan.
Yes.
Khuzestan is the name that was given by Iran. It was renamed by Iran. The original name, the historical name proven by the history. Okay, that's AL-AHWAZ, if I can just interrupt there. However, Mr.
I know Iran. You do not even know the country in Iran, these Iranian countries.
He was born there.
Sir, not just born in there, but we're talking about academic resources. I don't know what resources, where's your resources come from? Just your visit, or is your experience, Ahwaz? I mean, you haven't been there, have you?
Me?
Have you been in AL-AHWAZ, or as you would like to call it, Khuzestan? Have you been there?
I've been near there. I've been near Khuzestan many times, but not too close.
Benjamin Ali, thanks a lot for joining us. Thank you, sir. Thanks for participating.
Okay. You know, as I was saying, AL-AHWAZ has been under tight Iranian control, and I found a very important reason. You know, during my research. Okay, I went and I looked at all the atrocities that were happening, but behind all of this, there's a very large secret. And AL-AHWAZ, as Khadija mentioned this earlier, has the second largest oil and gas reserve in the whole world. So it's the second largest oil and gas reserve producer in the world, and it has reserves of 40 billion barrels of oil and 210 billion cubic meters of natural gas. Now, the UK and the USA know perfectly well what happens in Iran, but oil business profits are too important than human rights, and Iran is a strategic business partner for them. So we can't ever expect Western media to report about the suffering, and you know, this leaves many young Ahwazis feeling very helpless and very vulnerable. So I think it's up to us to take this issue and to broadcast it, and you're doing a very wonderful job of that.
Samaya, thanks a lot for sharing your experience, and we really hope to hear more from you. I mean, I don't know if you're going to write a book or you're going to write something about it. However, we're really happy to hear from you, and indeed we appreciate the fact that you endangered your own life. You put your life in danger to experience the suffering of AL-AHWAZ. Samaya, nice to have you on our radio show.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, Samaya.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Okay, now obviously we were more than happy to have Samaya. I mean, that was a bit very shocking, the fact that I mean, Khadija, did you hear that? The Iranian kill people like a motorbike, they just step on them.
I know, it's really disgusting to hear such a thing like that.
Are they treating these people as a human? I mean, even animals, they have rights here, don't they?
Yeah, they do. It's like they're some piece of object.
Exactly. It's okay. We are more than delighted now to welcome Hamid Taha. Hamid Taha, a 16 years old student at college now. Hamid Taha is a poet and a writer. Hamid wrote a number of articles for the suffering of AL-AHWAZ. He also wrote a set of poems. Hamid Taha, who is a 16 years old Muslim male, and he had more than 4 raps to illustrate the suffering of his people and the issue in the Middle East. Hamid, I mean, we read your articles, and not very long articles, most of them are short. Hamid, what makes you write this article? I mean, you're a student, you're 16 years old.
Assalamu alaikum to begin with. Peace be on you. The main reason, and probably the only reason for why I wrote these articles, is because I was forced, not by my parents or my family, but by all the people that are starving and dying in Ahwaz, by the starving children and parents that die and they go through hell every single day just so they may have something to eat, while we bathe in our luxuries. The reason why I write these articles is because these people have no voice. They have no way of letting the West know of their pain. We are the voice, and we have been silenced for way too long. Just 2 weeks ago, an artist, well, a couple of weeks ago, 3 or maybe 4 weeks ago, an artist was hung in public for expressing his views. Every month, at least one Muslim is hung in public for being what he is and for praying differently to how the Iranian government might want. What's more surprising is how the media just ignores absolutely all of this and just worries about if Iran is producing any nuclear weapons and weapons that cannot be produced without the resources of Ahwaz. These weapons would have no existence without Ahwaz, and 80% to 90% of the Iranian oil is stolen from Ahwaz. Without this, Iran would absolutely collapse. This is why I write these articles. It's because people need to know the real and true face of Iran.
Hamid, were you born in Al-Ahwaz?
Yes, I was born there and I lived there for 10 or so years.
So you had a very long experience there?
Yeah.
Okay. Hamid, you as a young Muslim, what is your opinion towards the Islamic Republic of Iran? You agree, it's an Islamic Republic, right? Islamic Republic of Iran.
I rather prefer to it as...
Don't you have an Iranian passport?
No.
Why don't
I had one, however I got a British passport now, which states Ahwaz as my home country and not Iran.
But what happened to your Iranian passport?
I pretty much just got rid of it. I don't need it.
Is that because you refused to confirm the occupation?
The occupation of Iran and all the killing of the innocent people. Now, as you said, the reference to Iran...
It's an Islamic Republic. In the
I rather prefer to refer to it as Iran, because I personally don't see it as an Islamic Republic. Now, I'm not saying, I'm not in no place to call them non-Muslims, I'm not. But they are sure are not practicing Islam in the way the Sunnah of the Prophet states. For instance, did you know that Iran has the highest amounts of she-males around the world? Around 105...
How many?
15,000, sorry.
15,000 she-males?
They preach these in their masjids, in their mosques, and they allow these sex changes. The preachers or imams are happily for sex changing. If it truly was an Islamic Republic, then why allow these changes? I'm not attacking any sort of sexuality here. I'm just stating the facts that if you are truly a Muslim country, then you should be following Islam and the teachings of our beloved prophets.
Indeed.
But that's just my opinion on the name that they have given themselves. However, on Iran as a whole, I think that they are an occupying state that should not exist on the borders of Ahwaz. I see it as another Israel that is taking over another Palestine. The only difference between Ahwaz and Palestine is that the world knows about Palestine, while no one can hear the cries of Ahwazi mothers.
You see Iran as an Israel.
Pretty much another Israel.
Another Israel. We have Farouk on the air. Farouk, can you hear us? Farouk?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Just wondering, yeah?
Yes.
Khuzestan, was it part of the Ottoman Empire?
Is it, we're discussing the situation in Al-Ahwaz, right?
Yeah, but as you said, you talked about the history of Khuzestan early on.
No, we spoke about the history of Al-Ahwaz.
Khuzestan isn't Al-Ahwaz.
It was renamed by Iran as Al-Ahwaz, but it's called, by the Ottomanian, was called Arabistan. That's the state of Arab.
Ottoman Empire.
That's right. It was by the Ottomanian Empire, it was called as Arabistan. That's the state of Arab state. Yes, sir. Farouk, do we still have you there?
No.
Can you repeat what you said, because I can't hear you properly?
Yeah, I said it's not Khuzestan. It was renamed by Iran as Khuzestan. However, in the Ottomanian Empire, the Islamic Empire, it was called Arabistan, and Arabistan means the Arab state.
Okay, if it was Arabistan in the Ottoman Empire, why would you change it to Al-Ahwaz? Just wondering, about history. I wonder about the history.
The Ottomanian, they used to call it Ahwaz. Yet
used to call it Al-Ahwaz. They used to Arabistan as well.
Yes, and they used to call it on the geography as Arabistan to mention the state that is not a Persian state. It's because some of the maps used to include it as a Persian state. Yet they used to say this is an Arab land and should be called as Arabistan. Yet they used to in their resources, they used to write Al-Ahwaz. Yes, indeed.